must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
For watching Punchline African Television, broadcasting from the general headquarters in Nairobi with Miriam Ogutu and Dr. David Matanga across in the Political Command Center in London. Thank you very much, viewers, all of you, all over Africa, wherever you are. This is Africa Showdown, a show for the people, for the continent of Africa. Thank you very much for watching, and we invite you to watch, to chat, to talk to us, to engage us. Tell us what is happening in your country, what is going on in your country, wherever you are. Thank you very much, the viewers, those who have been consistent, we thank you. Today's show is, as Miriam will be telling you, is a show. We have picked up 4 countries, of course, that are on the radar system. We shall begin with Kenya, go to Tanzania, go to Nigeria. I invite all Nigerians who have been complaining and are thinking that we don't discuss Nigeria to come and listen to us. We have no side in Nigeria. We are not part and a parcel of Buhari's regime. We have been fighting for the people to get freedom. It's Nigeria collapsing, as Miriam will explain. But for me, across the continent, I see a wind of hope. I see a new era rising up. I see a lot of sunshine becoming brighter every day. That every inch we move, Africa moves towards a total emancipation. Apart from changing and getting the flags that we fly, those are behind me. What else did we change? We did not change the methods of colonialism. And therefore, these methods came to haunt us. Don't blame yourself wherever you are. We changed it for a flag. We got the flag. Here we are now, Miriam. We are now left with a flag. But we have a problem. You don't listen to your own leaders. You don't listen to the headquarters of people who talk the truth. You want lies. We never lied, but we told you, we warned you. 1 year ago, the pandemic was going to come. And we told the people this pandemic will be very disturbing to the people of Africa. I wrote a paper on 18th of February 2020, alerting African countries to take a stand, to be careful that one day, what is happening today, I predicted it. I saw it. I want to thank the presidents of Africa, those who listen, especially Kenya. You have done very well as far as the pandemic is concerned. As Miriam will tell you the figures, is it the 3rd wave? And some of the figures in some countries are worrying. Those countries that did not listen. And I want you to take a real step forward. Take the real SOPs. Stick with the SOPs of the ministry. This disease is real. Welcome to Punchline Africa Showdown this morning. On the panel today, before I hand over to Miriam to take us through the discussion, we have a guest, Dr. Njau, Is it?
Dr. Joseph Nyanchama.
Nachama, Dr. Joseph Nachama. Good morning, Daktari. Oh, sorry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Because I am in a good morning area, I thought I was greeting you good morning. Thank you very much. And welcome to our show, Doctor. You are welcome, and thank you very much for joining us. Your contribution is one much needed. And
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have Daniel Wesonga. Thank you. Just greet the microphone.
Yes, a very good afternoon, Dr. Matsanga David in London, our fellow panelists and the viewers who are tuning in here in Kenya, East Africa, Africa, and the rest of the world. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. We have Javani Karanja from Nanyuki.
Thank you, Dr. David Matsanga, for having me on the show. Good afternoon to you and to all the panelists, and good afternoon to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Karanja. We have Musa Abidi Haji from Isiolo.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for having me on the show. And to all my fellow panelists, thank you so much, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Musa Abidi Haji Dido from Isiolo, our man who takes no prisoners on international relations. Thank you very much. Across in Meru, we have Douglas Kirimi, BD. Douglas.
Good afternoon, Dr. David Matsanga, and also to our viewers across the world, and also to our panelists. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the show. Thank you.
Back in the left corner, we have Professor Gerard Onyari. Professor Gerard Onyari is a pastor by profession. He cleans the heart, the soul, but he's also a conflict resolution expert. And therefore, what touches Africa, what ails Africa, what makes Africa tick, he is the man who has to correct it. If there is a war, call Professor Gerard Onyari. Welcome to the show, Prof.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dr. Masanga, Miriam, Douglas, Javani, Musa, and Daniel Wesonga, and our new friend, Dr. Nyanchama, and the rest of our viewers from wherever they are, this morning or this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you, wherever you were, in Cairo, in Cape Town, in Asmara, in Accra, in Lagos, in Bangui, in Khartoum, in Juba, in Kampala, in Kigali. Thank you. This show is for you, the African people. And those in the diaspora watching us, waking up in the morning, thank you very much. Let me return, before I return, another person has arrived by name, our special programs editor, Tawish Samuel Olesistana. Thank you. Tawish, test the microphone.
1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2.
Thank you.
I can hear loud and clear.
Yes, thank you very much. Can you greet the others? We have many here today.
Well, I'm not very sure who exactly is on the panel, but I can check. Do we have Javas?
No, I will tell you. We have Daniel, we have Jaranja, we have Professor Java.
Well, I've seen them.
We have, yes, now you can read. You can read for yourself. Back to you in the studio, Miriam. Thank you very much, Miriam Ogutu, our senior anchor and the senior president of Pancho Africa Television, the only television in Africa that talks about Africa. Tells the truth. If you come on this show, bear the truth. We don't fear, we do it bare knuckles. It's 24. We tell you, if you are Ruto, we tell you, please wake up. You have this time in this country. This country needs peace, Mr. Ruto. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much, William. Back to you.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much for that introduction. And thank thank you viewers for watching. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in. My name is Miriam Oguta. As Dr. there has said, this is Africa Showdown. So on today's show, of course, as Dr. also has mentioned, we'll start with the topics from Kenya, and we shall look at the politics of convenience and frustrating the referendum process. And then after that, we shall jump to other stories. And of course, we will go to Tanzania, where now there's a new era and the passing away of a Pan-African. After that, we'll go to Nigeria, a collapsing giant of Africa, and then Somalia. Which way? So those are the very topics we have for you today. So I'll just start with Kenya here. And fresh claims of backstabbing have rocked the Building Bridges initiative amid reports of a silent push by President Uhuru Kenyatta's team to sidestep a referendum. There are growing fears among ODM boss Raila Odinga's men that Uhuru might decide to kill the referendum by signing into law the Constitution of Kenya Bill 2021 approved by Parliament, also causing panic. I report that Uhuru could as well isolate issues that do not need a referendum, sign them into law, and then have other proposals considered unpopular go to public vote. So, Doctor, start us off.
Thank you. Fellow panelists, I'm going to be honest and I will point. I will not go far. I will hit point by point and therefore take it from there. Now look, follow my cue today. One, it is true, there are backstabbers in this process. Point number two, BPI was a redemption strategy, not a political process. Anybody diverting from the redemption strategy will find hell. Three, BBI is to restitute Kenya. You can't hold an election in Kenya when you have not restituted the Electoral Commission, which has been the cause of the crisis from 1992. How many people have lost their homes, their lives, their fathers, their children, their mothers? How many? The world will not accept. Looking at it, a transition, smooth transition in Tanzania, one would not like to hesitate and allow Kenya to hold an election, which is going to bring us blood instead of good things of progress. Three, the most dangerous people are the people who have no direction. If a car has no direction and it starts running in your villages and in the roads, every road it knocks, you might not have your village safe. The people who want to disrupt this agenda are well known. And for me, I don't take prisoners home. There are two people who want to fail this agenda. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has not told anybody that he will sign an agenda, sign the Constitution into law. That's stupid. That is the most stupid thing that anybody would think about. Because the thing is not for signing. The thing touches the hinge points of your Constitution. The Constitution of the Republic of Kenya cannot just be changed by mere signature. It has to be changed by the mandate of the people of Kenya. Four, I want to tell you, in ODM, we have gate crushers. In Jubilee, we had Thomas. Those who don't know what to do, until they see they are defeated in the Machakos, then they come back. In the ODM, we have NGO. And for me, I will die saying this. Orengo is a bad man in ODM. Because half of Orengo is, the wife is NGO, Orengo is not. So, he is confusing Oraira. And we have to be honest. I don't survive on NGO money. Why do we talk lies? Why are you taking lies? You know you are counting these days. We have 700 days, 500 days. Miriam, we are reaching a point where we are going to have no days but pangas. Did you know that? We are counting, confusing this whole thing. It is going towards a panga and a rungu and the arrows. Mr. Orengo is half. Kama unakata katikati, half is Madam Mirungi, who is George Soros' point lady in East Africa. Himself, so he has no decision. He comes here, he says, oh, go. The judge decide where to go. In our Jubilee Party, we have Mr. Ruto. There is a man in Ruto's office who is NGO. He's called Sungoi Abraham Sungoye. He worked for NGO called George Soros Open Society Foundation. Wacha iwake moto. Later, bring it up. We have evidence. Don't talk about anything coming from George Soros. Maybe steal it from somewhere else. But I will know. This guy says, that's why you see Mr. Kimani Ichung'wah. Why should Kimani Ichung'wah win an election in Kenya? Unopposed. How many projects are in Kimani Ichung'wah's constituency which are done by George Soros, NGO money? Why is Kimani Ichung'wah very close to Ruto? People are seeing the green money and the Kenya money. So you balance which green notes you want to take the dollar or you want to take the Kenya and keep Kenya. The two gentlemen, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga, shook hands. Some people were left out of these hands, shaking the hand. It has pained so many people. People are redrawing their program, their footsteps. They want to disrupt it so that nothing comes out. The statements that Orengo is making, that Uhuru can become deputy. So why don't you support him? You are here saying you hate impunity. You hate impunity. And we agree. Nobody likes impunity. Then why don't you just support the man that openly? These statements that he makes on when we are all watching are not very good. Miriam, I submit. The handshake is still strong. The referendum will be done as far as I know, because the constitutional arrangement touches on changing the governance, state of governance. You can't change it by the mouth, by parliament. You have got to ask people to parliamentary system of a prime minister and other things to the Westminster system. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I submit, therefore, there will not be any chaos. I would have heard already, Miriam. I would tell you, the only thing is that let people wait for a tsunami that looks like it's unfolding. Because if you don't want to tame your ego, you go down with your ego. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff and Karanja. What's happening there in the referendum process?
Thank you very much, Miriam. And I'm in agreement with the statements made by Dr. David Matsanga. And Miriam, from onset, when we had the BBI, the handshake rather, there are some people who felt like they were left out. And we know for the last 3 years, the group calling itself Tanga Tanga, they have tried by all means to ensure that the BBI process, the handshake process is disorganized, but they have failed. Therefore, Miriam, I don't see anybody who will succeed in dividing the BBI, in dividing the handshake, and dividing this country. If the Tanga Tangas guys, for the last 3 years, they have been going around painting the handshake in bad faith, but they have not succeeded, Miriam. Those people who are coming now late, they are too late because the process have already taken shape. And I want to remind Kenyans, BBI is not a process that is owned by President Uhuru Kenyatta or Raila Amolo Odinga. They just ignited the fire, but Kenyans contributed. Kenyans were given a chance to take their proposals. Therefore, this document is contained by proposals, by recommendations from Kenyans. Therefore, this document is owned by Kenyans, and it's only Kenyans who will have the final say at the ballot. Therefore, BBI is an all-inclusive process. Kenyans were given a chance, and I see where we are, Miriam. You're heading on the right track, and by the fullness of time, Kenyans will be given an opportunity to agree or to disagree with the contents of the BBI in a referendum. Therefore, those people who are bitter, I know there are some camps in ODM, there are some camps in Jubilee who felt like they should have been involved in the BBI. They could be part and parcel of the handshake, but because that didn't materialize, that is why today they are bitter with President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And to some occasions, some politicians didn't see the handshake coming. Therefore, they were caught by surprise. Therefore, they are still healing. They are still healing from the shocks of handshake because to a number, and I know this, before handshake, there were calls for dialogue. And there were some groups in ODM and the same group in calling itself Tangatanga today. They were opposed to any form of dialogue with the opposition and the government. Therefore, these people, they have been consistent in fighting the handshake and causing divisions so that they can thrive politically. But they should know that the space we have in this country now is to unite this country, and that is the soul and one main agenda of President Uhuru Kenyatta, to ensure that he leaves a country that is united, a country where everybody will be proud to belong to this country. Therefore, they will not succeed, and Kenyans have been part of this process. Therefore, if they want to disorganize the process, they must also give Kenyans a chance to withdraw the recommendation that they made. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Javan Karanja. Douglas Kiremi.
Thank you, Miriam. For these people who have been moving around, telling us every manner of stories around BBI, now the cabal that was pushing for the BBI report to be rejected, and also for the people to antagonize the people of Kenya against the report, have now moved a top notch and also declared war against the BBI. Every now and then we will see scenarios being played in the media that neither comes from Raila Odinga and also President Uhuru Kenyatta. And these are the people who have the BBI process at heart. And these are the people who took Kenya to the path where we are today. We are a few inches to the referendum. And people that are not satisfied are still on the course of taking this country back. And remember, Dr. Masanga said it. People from the Office of Deputy President, ostensibly, speaking of Deputy President William Ruto, is scattering BBI. From day one, he has been working every kind of tact to be able to bring BBI down, and it has not come down. So for me, I need to tell William Ruto the truth. Even Modama himself said that what has been happening is a sign of things to come in future, because everything that he has been doing has been corrupting, including making people stand with his own party, UDA. People have been failing in that party and also not getting anywhere. And again, every scheme he has been able to effect around this country, Miriam, it has been able to fail. Since over 2 years and some months now, he has been fighting the BBI process, waking up every morning, spending a lot of money, going to churches as if he's the only philanthropy around, and every kind of philanthropy that he has been able to maneuver around. And the people of Kenya have been able to categorically decide on the way they shall go. So for me, I would want to wish William Ruto the best as he is getting impeached and kicked out of Jubilee Party, so that he can be able to concentrate on his personal ambition to become president. Anything else, fighting BBI, fighting Raila Odinga, fighting the president, is not working, Miriam. He is planting scenes of discord against BBI process, pouring money across the nation, and it is not working. For William Ruto, it's the high time, Dr. William Ruto, you get back to the drawing board and see what works for you. Because as you are ending to opposition, because everything you try, it is failing, Miriam. Everything that William Ruto touches nowadays, it is failing. When he fundraises for churches, money disappears into thin air. He does not deliver. When people stand on UDA, people fail, Miriam. It is only one MCA now. It has been declared the People's Choice Party for MCA, people who want to run in Rift Valley. Didmas Baraza this afternoon has run away from UDA. So William Ruto, everything you are touching, every scenario that you have created around for the people of Kenya, it has disappeared. And also for this BPI process, Miriam, we are a few inches to referendum, and William Ruto should wait for Kenyans to effect this constitutional moment and stamp it in the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya as we are moving forward as a country. For him, all the best, bro, as you leave Jubilee Party, and also as you are impeached as a deputy president, because we cannot have such an antagonizing character in this country, Miriam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That is Douglas Kirimi, all the way from Meru County there. Professor Jared, what is happening here in the referendum process? It seems to be getting a lot of frustrations there.
Miriam, the problem in this country, Miriam, is that people don't read. That is the most undoing things. And Miriam, the kind of things people read are these rights which are being peddled by the social media, Miriam. You know very well, Miriam, there is a way you can amend the Constitution of Kenya. And this, Miriam, you go to Article 255 of the Kenyan Constitution 2010. There are sections of the Constitution, Miriam, there's nothing you can do. You have to bring it to the people of Kenya. And there is no way the president can sign or propose to amend the Constitution or to make any law in this country. Only, Miriam, if the members of parliament have taken the bill for the president to ascend it to the law, and he has got reservations, which returns again to Parliament, Miriam. If they cannot marshal 2/3 to veto what the president has said, that is the only scenario how it can become law. So the president does not originate, Miriam. So, Miriam, the Constitution is very clear. The architecture of 2010 Constitution, we went to a referendum and agreed, Miriam, this is how we change our Constitution. So if there are some section of the Constitution under Article 256, where members of parliament are free to amend or propose changes, they can do it, go the normal procedure, public participation, Miriam, then take to the president and the president can assent. So from where I sit, those are total publications, Miriam, and let me, Miriam, assure you that what you are trying to say, Miriam, here is that people are fighting for money. People are fighting to control the referendum, Miriam, and the referendum, of course, it goes with resources. So you can't go to the office of the president, Miriam, and then you say you don't want this, don't want this. Miriam, you know, the national government coordination, which then was the provincial administration, Miriam, is very key. You know the role it plays. Those are the representatives of the president at the grassroots, right away from the top up. So you can't go to the office of the president and you say you don't want Kibicho. So what you are ordinarily saying, as Dr. Masanga is saying, you are saying you don't want the president. The village elder, Miriam, as you may despise him or her, at the grassroots, at the village level, Miriam, that is the face and the presentation of the government, Miriam. That's the face of the government. Mm-hmm. So from where I sit, I know the kind of budget which the Minister of Interior has when it comes to the promotion of peace and the stability and the safety of our country, Miriam. So, Miriam, this is the kind of money that they are trying to fight for so that they control. So, as I'm submitting, I'm trying to say, Miriam, there is no process, Miriam, from independence. Not even the Lancaster, Miriam. The process which has been so much transparent as BBI. Because every Kenyan has been involved. The one who loves his country or our country, and the one who is patriotic, and the one who is a nationalist, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Nobody has hidden this process from you. We are the tail end, Miriam. We are at the Senate and the National Assembly, Miriam. The other day, Miriam, you saw they were having public participation, Miriam. It is going to be introduced, Miriam, the debate in the floor house. Whether they pass it or not, it will again be brought to the people of Kenya under Article 255 of the Kenyan Constitution. Areas where the Kenyan people, Miriam, have what I say. There's no way you can go secret. So, Miriam, only fools can be just be cheated by those issues coming from the social media that the president want to assent into law. Miriam, you can't even go to a kindergarten class and you tell those kids. They will tell, no, that is not the procedure. So, Miriam, from where I sit and I am submitting now, mm-hmm. the referendum is on course. It will pass overwhelmingly, Miriam. And the people of Kenya, come June, July, they should have given themselves a new amended constitution under the redemption strategy, Miriam. All right. We cannot afford, Miriam, to go back to those days of 2017, 2013, 2007, Miriam. We have got an opportunity, Miriam, to come together and penetrate in our constitution, Miriam. This is the best we can do under BBI. And then there will be room, Miriam, after 5 years, another 10 years, to go and revisit the constitution. I submit.
Very well. Thank you so much. That is Professor Jared Onyarif here from Kenya's capital in Nairobi. Daniel.
Yes, thank you, Miriam. And I would like to tie my opinion on the chariot of what Dr. Matsanga said. And he gave very clear point-to-point perspective on BBI. And if you are doing a diagnosis of this malady that we are having right now, then one thing comes out clearly, that people who are not party to the handshake, people who are not party to the formation, the early stages of the BBI, are the ones who have come and hijacked the entire process. And because they are failing to separate the 2022 presidential debacle from the BBI process, that is why we are having the problems that we are having today. But if they can be able to separate it, the politics from the BBI, and really embrace whatever BBI is all about, the redemption of the people of Kenya, then we shall have a very peaceful and a seamless process going forward. So to me, Miriam, the major problem that we are facing today is that we have people who are infiltrated the handshake on both sides. We have, on one side, we have Orengo, who also wants to be the governor of Siaya, and he believes that he can only ascend if Raila is going to vie for presidency. We have known history, through history, that we have people who have been hanging on Raila's court. Whenever Raila vies for presidency, they also take up a political seat in their backyard, and they are able to ride on his popularity. On the other side, we also have people who are riding behind President Uhuru Kenyatta and who want things done in their way for their various political reasons. So to me, I think we need to push back these masqueraders. We need to push back these people who are bringing in politics in the entire BBI process, so that at the end of the day, we are able to focus on the bigger picture, and we do not at any particular point scuttle the good process that we started off 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, Daniel Wesonga, also from Nairobi, and joining us also, still from Nairobi, Samuel Tawish. All right, Samuel Tawish, I don't know if he's there, but we can... Go on.
Yes, I'm back on air. Sorry,
Go
my audio was a bit mute. I want to greet the entire panelists who are actually making contribution on this platform this afternoon. And just to register my points by saying that the Building Bridges initiative, which was birthed through the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, is here to stay. I'm saying so because over 3 years down the line, we've seen the fruits and benefits of the handshake, and which actually brought about this Building Bridges initiative that now we are discussing about the impending referendum that Kenyans are going to have. Miriam and the rest of the panelists in studio there, constitutions all over worldwide are never static. They are actually dynamic. Constitutions change, and they have to change to suit the desires and the interests of the people that these constitutions actually govern, or actually are run by the same people. So it will not augur well for some individuals who are still nursing some hangovers for having been left out, for instance, maybe out of the handshake, who feel they should have been part and parcel of the handshake in the first place. They should be part and parcel of this process by maybe being the primary drivers of this particular process. They are not impressed that the handshake and BBI has brought tranquility, political tranquility to be specific in this country. And moving to the referendum, the only way they can find relevance and popularity is by fighting President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga. They think by fighting BBI and saying maybe BBI is not popular, or by creating this diversionary kind of tactics, there are people who are now coining narratives that perhaps we are not going to head to the referendum, knowing very well that such kind of sentiments are likely going to split maybe the country, especially the political leaders, and we may not, the process of having this referendum may not materialize. What I want to say is that the train left the station long time ago. BBI and the referendum is here to stay. We are going to have the BBI the nearest time possible. So those people who are hallucinating and thinking maybe by creating this diversionary or side shows, they are going to divert the attention of the Kenyan people from actually concentrating on what benefits this BBI is bringing about, or the referendum that you're going to have is going to have for the Kenyan people. I do not understand why someone in their right mind, Miriam, and maybe the panelists and our audience who are watching us will really fight a document or a process that seeks to actually reinvent and bring about a new lease of life in the way we are handling our politics in this country. We are talking about, for example, increasing constituencies. If you are coming from a place that you feel like you are underrepresented because of having maybe more numbers in terms of people and you have fewer representation, why will someone come out and fight maybe having a more constituency or a ward, if I may ask? Why will someone in the right mind actually come out and fight more resources to the county? You are talking about over 35% going to the county governments. You are talking about ward development funds, about 100 million for every ward to actually do developmental projects at the grassroots level. We are talking about inclusivity, bringing all Kenyans together so that we are not going to be judged by our skin. We are not going to be judged from our religion or from where we come from. We are all going to be judged as Kenyans. I think anyone who is trying to fight this initiative really does not mean well for this country, and that is an enemy of the people of Kenya. It's very unfortunate that some elements, especially within the Orange Democratic Movement, the likes of James Orengo, like you alluded earlier, are the people who actually fought the second liberation in this country. They are the people who should be at the forefront supporting this initiative by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga by seeing into it how it's going to succeed. But now they're actually taking the bait. They're actually swallowing this bait by bringing confusion and fiasco in the entire process. But what I can affirm, what I can say, because I interact with Kenyans every other day, they are confident that this is the only way that will remedy the problems that this country has been battling for so many years, Miriam. I submit.
Thank you so much, Tawish, Samuel Tawish there. And I don't know, what's your opinion, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama? We're joined by a new panelist today. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, thank you very much. Could you kindly adjust your headroom there, because we can't exactly see you properly. Your head is too low. Could you just balance that for us? Oh, you
have too much
see
space.
Me?
Yes.
Adjust
your headroom, please.
We want to see your head. More. More. A bit daktari, sukuma juu. Unapotea.
All right. So as we wait for him to do that, he will come. Musa, maybe you could take it, and then once Dr. Joseph Nyanchama is able to do that, he can give us his opinion on what we're talking about. Musa, go ahead.
Are you able to see me now?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I got a hitch. Sorry for this.
All right, we can see you, but the headroom is very not good for the camera there. But go ahead.
Headroom, what headroom? The height up.
All right, go ahead, Doctor, and then Musa will come after you. Go ahead.
Can I go ahead? I wanted to make a brief comment.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead.
Yep. Unmute.
Okay. Dr. Jess, are you there?
I am there, sorry.
All right, go ahead. Your opinion on the frustrations that the BBI process seems to be having.
I've been having a challenge here of the technical issue on the line.
It's okay, we understand.
Let me make a small statement.
It's okay. Yeah,
for me, the bottom line is peace. The BBI was anchored on a fundamental of peace because it was to redeem the chaotic situation, to bring peace to the Republic of Kenya. For me, I want to put forth a few words from the English poet John Donne to every leader listening to me. He said, I quote, "No man is an island entire on itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Never ask for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. And before it tolls on you, let it be your wake-up call." In this context, you can hear the words of this great man. He said that the bottom line is every person is a citizen of equal rights, and he has the rights, therefore, to enjoy the peace prevailing in the globe. That is why he says everyone is a part of the main. And for those ones who do things which undermine any instrument which brings peace is an enemy of the people. I do not want to pinpoint, but then they are learned and they have heard what I have just said. In fact, we have a system where some people think they are so intelligent and they treat other ordinary citizens, denying them the right to enjoy the peaceful nature this BBI mechanism is going to bring. So, in conclusion, I support the PPI, and for those who are undermining it, the bell is dawning on them. That is all I wanted to say.
All right, very well. Thank you so much. That is Dr. Joseph Nyanchoma. Musa, go ahead.
Thank you.
Miriam, thank you, Miriam. And just to make my humble submission on this topic, Miriam, I have 3 areas to address very briefly. The first one is the issue of the deputy president and the fact now we've seen a sense of diversion and, let me say, political even betrayal in this perspective. My message to the deputy president of this country is that he is not disrespecting President Uhuru Kenyatta, but he is disrespecting the presidency, Miriam, the office. And when you are doing such kind of issues, is that one day he is aspiring to become the head of this country. So the question I have for him, how can you honorably be in an office you are disrespecting now, you are undermining now? It's something which has been enshrined even in independent constitution, Miriam, that the presidency is a symbol of national unity. So that responsibility of not only respecting President Uhuru Kenyatta, but respecting the office, Miriam. Does he respect the office which was once sat by one of the most honorable people we have on this continent? That is Emilio Mwai Kibaki. Does he have the respect and the honor to respect the office, Miriam, which was sat upon when Kenya was inviting over, or prescribing over one of the most turbulent time in our country's history. That is from 1963 to 1969, Miriam, during the time of Jomo Kenyatta, and when secessionists wanted to separate Kenya and turn this country into pieces. Secondly, Miriam, I would like to talk about institutional confusion going on. And let me make it clear, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission, these 3 people, look at the behavior they have been putting in place. The other day when Sylvanas Osoro and Simba Arati were arguing, Miriam, and they were fighting each other on the podium, NCIC could not do much, Miriam. It's like a toothless bulldog. They came so early when Kenyans were demanding on KOT that these people should be arrested. People are telling the mandate they are supposed to do. You are being told your mandate online. National Cohesion and Integration Commission. I can see the commission already defying one of the ethos of, BBI, Miriam, that is building national ethos and consensus understanding. Number 2 is Wafula Chebukati. Why do you have to wait when it is 2 months, 3 months before election or before the referendum that you have to tell us that IEBC has the mandate of delimitation and boundary allocation of this country? Why did IEBC have to wait this late to tell us this? I remember I participated in my community when we said our ward has achieved the particular threshold, we want to be added another ward. Wafula Chebukati wrote a letter before we don't have enough funds to commit to that agenda. Why do institutions like IEBC do have to frustrate a national consensus? Number 3, Miriam, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. President, when he said 2 billion Kenya shillings are lost every day, I saw President being in frustration, the President fighting this war alone. I saw the President being sidelined in a way in this war, Miriam. And now you have one of the parastatals given around 1.2 billion annually to fight corruption. Here is Talib Mbarak. In order for Kenyans, in order for, as Dr. Matsanga have said, this is not a political process, it's a redemption strategy. For you to convince Kenyans that indeed this BBI is credible, these 3 commissions, Miriam, should have done wonders positively as far as President Uhuru Kenyatta is concerned. And finally, Miriam, as a political analyst, I don't mince my words. And let me tell you, as people of Isiolo and Northern Kenya, we don't care who is Karanja Kibicho. As people of Isiolo County and Northern Kenya, we don't care who is James Orengo. And let me tell you one thing, Miriam. When 2022, God forbid, people will go into chaos, Karanja Kibicho should be reminded the county which shall suffer most shall be Kirinyaga. When people fight and go into chaos, James Orengo should be reminded the revisitation of 2007-2008 is laying in his hands. We don't have to hide one another about this agenda. This country, Miriam, the people who are sabotaging this process are only 6 representatives of the largest clan in this country. We are 42. I'm not lying to you. We are coming from one of the minorities, and we are among the first people who have accepted this BBI process. We don't have deep state people in the government. We don't harass people. We don't frustrate the process. But I know, Miriam, there are 6 tribes in this country, I don't have to name them, who are taking this BBI to be more of their personal property and not the property and equal sharing of the Makondes, of the Boranas, of the Rendiles, of the Ndorobos, Miriam, and of the original inhabitants of this country, the object, Miriam. People have sabotaged this BBI process and made it in a way that, even someone like Karanja Kibicho, who is a chauvinist, he thinks that by sabotaging such kind of events, or Orengo thinking that by bringing such kind of advent to this process, they can frustrate the larger Kenya. They should be reminded that this country was built by Jomo Kenyatta from pieces, Miriam. Name it, Elemi Triangle, the Northern Frontier District, the leasing of 16-kilometer strip from Sultan of Zanzibar in coast. Kenya was never to be the way it is today. It was as a result of many communities coming together to build a very beautiful nation, Miriam.
All right.
And now here people, in the name of being powerful, are frustrating the process.
Okay.
We are saying no. And if they are going to bring that chaotic agenda, Miriam, as a community and as an Advent youth from Isiolo County, I'm ready to defend this country, Miriam. It's all about sovereignty. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so
Miriam,
much.
let me just come in.
Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, let me just come in and help Musa. And I hope he listened to my presentation. There is no way Kibicho is undermining the process. Kibicho is a civil servant. He is the principal secretary for the government for interior, and as to such he coordinates. And the Karancha will refer me testimony that when Mount Kenya, the mountain region was going chaotic, Kibicho has done a very, very, very good work. And I did say that under the Minister of Interior and the coordination, they are the ones. There is no way. Whether you remove Kibicho today and you put Professor Nyara, I could coordinate that one on behalf of the government when it comes to security. So was the some of the protagonists, like the likes of Orengo, what they are fighting, they are hiring the resources in the Ministry for Interior. And he has said, Miriam, that in terms of civic education, the provincial administration will assist us. So Musa, let us not enter into play of just condemning the civil servants who are merely executing their mandates. If we go that direction, then we will be just like Orengo.
Okay.
And others.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor, for that. Now I want us to get to our second topic on Kenya before.
Can I correct one thing?
Okay.
Before you, Miriam, if you can give me 1 minute.
Go ahead.
When the ants wants to eat you, they first send a signal. The small one that doesn't bite comes. So you concentrate on that, and then the big one comes out to bite you. If you have been a gorilla fighter like Matsanga, one of the things that we you know those small ants, what are they called? The one that form a line. They do it in a line, a queue. And they enter you through the trouser and come down up here. It can cause you chaos and the ambush. You know, if you have been laying an ambush, the enemy will know where you are. Now, I want to tell you, you Kenyans, don't please focus on the ball. The ball is NGOs from outside. They are the ones steering. Have you seen what they have done to Tanzania? Have you seen, Musa, I wish you open your screen and listen to me, my Baba, my younger man. Yes, I want you to listen to me. And look, watch this way. Watch these NGOs. I want you to focus there. Study them. They are movement of money. They are moving money. Show me one NGO that sent a message of condolence to Magufuli. I have given you the real medicine, the real root cause. In Orengo, you have a wife. Kibicho can be sacked today, isn't it? The president can decide to remove Kibicho and bring Professor Jared Onyami. But he will conduct the same business. You know that. He's a minister of interior everywhere in the world. He's the most disliked ministry. Because it has a prison. It has a prison where they lock thieves like Ruto. It has, all these things. Everybody. People would go there. So you hate that ministry. Musa, unaona hiyo? So Kibicho was doing his work. Onorengo was saying there is something which she should have addressed. He should have gone to the president. He should have gone to
Prime Minister.
To the Prime Minister. Haven't they solved it now? You have seen it is there. Now, after solving the Kibicho axis, there comes Chebukati. The Chebukati man, which medium is coming on. We solved the have you seen Kibicho and Orengo quarreling anymore?
No.
No, it's finished. Musa, you have heard me. I know you, the younger generation, you want it, but it will come. Now focus, my dear younger men, Douglas and Musa and Tawishi and Daniel, focus on the international agencies. Who is funding trouble in Senegal? Who is funding trouble in Congo? Have you seen the Congo leader was taken ill just hours before the polling station started? He's not in an ICU. He's on ventilator. An opposition leader. Look at that. Everywhere in Africa. Everywhere. The NGOs are coming. I'm telling you, Joe Biden administration will overthrow very many governments in Africa. And I want to tell you to watch that. You're a student of international relations. Watch that. So many governments are going to fall. So many. I don't want to name them, but if you have a revolutionary party, be prepared. If you have a revolutionary party in your country, be prepared. If there is, have you seen how they finished Ethiopia? Where is Ethiopia now, Musa? Musa is finished. Ethiopia can't even, the airline is very big, it flies empty. They have cancelled their European route. No passenger. They have finished Ethiopia because of Tigray. Didn't I say it here? I know who does the mercenary activities in Tigray. But my point is this. This Musa and Professor Nyari, both of you are right. You are right in the sense Musa is also equally right to say the way people think there in Isiolo, that in the frustration, people are bringing down the BBI. So this is the local politics, is in Isiolo and you are in Nairobi. You are both right. But the biggest issue is the ant, that big ant. Don't look at this one which comes out first. This one which comes out first warns you. Look at the big one that is coming to sting you. And that one coming to sting you, Musa, is George Soros.
All right.
Look at the money. Look, do you see Boniface Mwangi talking anymore? Whom does Boniface Mwangi support on Twitter? Whom does David Ndii support on Twitter? David Ndii wanted to divide this country into two nations. He wanted two Kenya. Whom does he support now? Where is he? Because they have instructed him use Ruto as a vehicle to dismember Uhuru Kenyatta. And therefore we shall pay you the dollar. That's the truth.
You're right.
They have put money. The man who is a neighbor of the owner of the money, which is going to kill Kenya, is Mr. Onyari's neighbor. He's called Kegoro. He's from Nyamira. Kegoro is the chairman of Open Society Foundation in Kenya. Last month, George Soros released $476 million for Africa. And Kenya for East Africa. Where, boss, show me. We are looking for money. And the Kenya economy wants money. Look at that money coming. In one hand, $476 million. And they come. These guys fly to South Africa, come in a briefcase. They bring money through other accounts. That is where the trouble is. Therefore, don't be bothered about the two principles are together. Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta are to determine to make sure that the whole thing works and it will work. And Professor Dr. Joseph, you've made a very good point. Peace hinges on 5 pillars. You know them. Accountability, truth-telling, reparation, reconciliation, restitution, and the 6th is healing. Anybody disturbing something that is going to lead us to a healing process, Doctor, I agree with you. We must take him on head on now. Thank you. Miriam, I think we can go to the other topics. Okay. We can skip that one of Chebukati because we have already touched it there. Anyway.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's just turn our attention to the other news across Africa, and we'll start with Tanzania, where it's a new era, the passing away of a Pan-African, and as we know, Samia Suluhu Hassan, the soft-spoken former vice president, is now the first female president of Tanzania after the passing away of John Pombe Magufuli, and several world leaders, including African heads of state and development partners, have commiserated with the Tanzanian people following the death of President John Pombe Magufuli on March 17th in Dar es Salaam Hospital. On Thursday, Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta declared 7 days of national mourning and ordered flags in all public spaces and diplomatic missions to be flown at half-mast. He eulogized Magufuli as a friend, a colleague, and a visionary ally whom he worked with closely to forge lasting bonds between Kenya and Tanzania. So I don't know what are we likely to see in the days to come. I know it's a bit too early because even the president has not been buried there. He's still being taken across the major cities there in Tanzania for the public to have an opportunity to view him. And from what we saw the few times he's been there, Tanzanians really have been showing up and showing their love and bidding their former president goodbye there. So it's a new era in Tanzania. Javan Karanja.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for the opportunity. And indeed, I take this opportunity from Punchline Africa to wish Madam President, His Excellency Samia Suluhu, a good time as he tries hard to fit on the shoes of former President and the late President John Joseph Magufuli. Is a new dawn for the people of Tanzania. And Miriam, let me say this, the people of Tanzania, they have built their country on the foundation that was established by their founding father, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. The country is united. They are not divided across the tribes or religion. Miriam, Samia Suluhu was the vice president to John Pombe Magufuli, who was a Christian, and her, she is a Muslim. Therefore, there is that unity, there is that call of looking at the people of Tanzania as Tanzanians rather than dividing them and disintegrating them into small groups of tribes and region and religion per se. And Miriam, to me, that is the foundation that he will try to make sure that the people of Tanzania remain united. Also, in terms of legacy, John Pombe Magufuli have ensured that the people of Tanzania are respected. The people of Tanzania comes his first priority in terms of business. They ensured that they have a conducive business environment, and he ensured that he protects them from dubious businessmen from other countries. Therefore, I see her having a soft landing, because as a deputy for Magufuli for a period of 5 years and some months, I know she has learned a lot, and I know she will continue working on that to ensure that the priority of the people of Tanzania comes number one in all costs, because you have seen even in our boundaries, Magufuli refused to have an open border transaction of business with Kenya and Uganda. Therefore, he protected the people of Tanzania from saturation of their business and their economy by other fellows from the East African community. Also, in the fight against corruption, Magufuli ensured very well that all public servants are accountable, and they're accountable for the mandate they are given, and they're accountable for all the coins that they are given to their ministries. Therefore, I think that to me have sent the pace, and I think if she continues with that truth, Miriam will not have to beat shoulders with others, but to ensure that he takes the country of Tanzania in the next level. Therefore, I wish her well as he learns, he takes the people of Tanzania in the next phase, but he should ensure that the East Africa Regional Cooperation, he makes it vibrant, because to some extent, Magufuli was not keen on that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And for those who know her and understand her politics there, apparently her leadership style is a little different from that of her predecessor, the late John Pombe Magufuli. And, she listens. Apparently she listens to counsel, unlike what we used to see there, the late president do. So is she likely to follow into the footsteps of her predecessor, or is she likely to adopt her own, become her own person, and perhaps lead according to, who she is outside of her predecessor? Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. The issue in Tanzania brings out a very important lesson for the people of Africa as Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan takes the reins of power. We are running something new, and every day, and a human being is open to running. For example, the issue of vice presidents and deputy presidents across Africa and across the world. We have run something of humility. We have run something on service, and also obedience to the protocols, and also to the leadership that is there today. We have never had an issue of Madam Samia Suluhu having an issue with John Pombe Magufuli. Magufuli has had a very tough time with foreigners, donors, and all people. We have never had Madam Samia Suluhu having an opposite of what Magufuli was saying. And that is the boost that she served until he died. And that is something that, as a new era comes into power in Dar es Salaam and Dodoma and across Tanzania, East Africans can learn that you don't have to defy your boss. You don't have to keep fighting your boss. Your time will come, and when your time will come, you become your own person. And that is a very
great lesson, especially for us Kenyans, where we have a very deputy president who keeps contradicting the positions of government. We have never earned Madam Samia Suluhu in Zanzibar, where she comes from, because that is a stronghold, and also in a mainland Tanzania. We have never had a question with $1 million projects that have been undertaken by the government of Tanzania, like we have had here in Kenya. So we need to be able to learn a few lessons as she takes power as the first female president in East Africa. And also another perspective is that the people of Tanzania are very united, and also they have embraced the new leadership, and they want to support that. Their party CCM has actually given an order for her to take over the party as the chairperson of the Chama cha Mapinduzi. And also another perspective is that coming from the pedestal that Magufuli has taken Tanzania, and coming back to our own leadership that has been nurtured since 2000 when she came into the limelight, is very difficult. It is very difficult for her to be able to move from the instant justice that was being delivered by Magufuli by the roadside. It's very difficult for her to move from delivering government projects with the speed. It is very difficult for her to keep moving and also checking the government, checking the hospitals, and making sure that everything is going on. So what I think is that she's going to follow into the footsteps of Magufuli, because this is going to lead to a lot of frustrations, and these kind of frustrations are going to affect her delivery and presidency. But if she follows the Magufuli style of leadership, or also the style of delivering services to the people, she's going to be a guardian of the people. And also another perspective is that if Madam Samia Suluhu continues in the footsteps of Magufuli, though she can never be a true Magufuli, she can follow into the footsteps of Magufuli and deliver justice to the people of Tanzania, the poor people in Tanzania who are very affected by the leadership of Magufuli. Remember, Magufuli told them, this is a sacrifice, my presidency is a sacrifice to the poor people of Tanzania. If Madam Samia Suluhu goes and goes to bed with imperialists who Magufuli has been chasing away from Tanzania, goes to bed with the corrupt people in Tanzania who have been milking the minerals in Tanzania, if she goes to bed with the donors who have been trying the Tanzania according to Magufuli, this is going to turn her against the people of Tanzania, and she will have a very rough 5-year term. But as she continues her term, I think she is wise enough to have read the mood of the people. If I'm a person of goodwill in the world today, and I'm not a Tanzanian, and I can see that, I think our advisors can be able to see that the Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa can help them and see how they take their country forward, because Tanzanians are used to the style of Magufuli of delivering justice. They believe presidency is about the people. They believe presidency is about delivery of services. When you are given a contract, they believe that you have to be pushed to the corner for you to be able to deliver, or if you don't deliver, they take the contracts away from you. And that is my expectation for the new era in Tanzania, and especially for Madam Samia Suluhu. Congratulations, Your Excellency. All the best in your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Douglas. So after she took the oath of office there on Friday, one of the prominent people who tweeted to congratulate her was the World Health Organization Director General there, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, and he congratulated her and then added that he's looking forward to cooperate with Tanzania in regards to COVID-19. So would you say after the burial of John Pombe Magufuli, which is expected on the 26th of this month, the biggest test perhaps of the new president there is her response to coronavirus? Will she follow into the footsteps of John Magufuli, or will she understand that we are in the middle of a pandemic there and do things differently, Professor?
William, thank you for that good question. I did say now, Miriam, what should preoccupy us is on how to open the ground and put John Pombe Magufuli to rest in internal peace, Miriam. I can tell you for a fact, I listened to Madam Samia. She said, Miriam, this is not the point for us to point fingers at one another. But it is a time for us, Miriam, to hold each other hands and we work together. Miriam, as a peacemaker, and Dr. Masang will tell you that is a huge statement, that she will be committed towards uniting the people of Tanzania. And Miriam, to me, my recommendation here is, if there are the positive attributes she can be able to pick from Pombe Magufuli, Miriam, to take Tanzania forward, so be it. But remember, Miriam, after we have mourned and finished with grieving, President Samia is a substantive president for the Republic of Tanzania. She will be on her own. But one of the things I've said, Miriam, now we are mourning. Just appeal the people of Tanzania that we become united. Watch this space. They have been working together. You know, Miriam, when we work together with you, there are some things, Miriam, which I don't like about you. No more. That's how life is. There are some of the things, Miriam, I don't expect always, Miriam, in life that you have yes, men and women. So I know as time goes, after the grieving period, Miriam, we will have Madam Samia being herself, focusing what she want to say, she want to do for Tanzania and the region and in Africa, Miriam. What is good for what is good from Magufuli, Miriam, she should pick. What she feels that Magufuli did not do right because these are human beings, let her leave her at her discretion because now she will be the president for Tanzania for the next 4.5 years. But what I want to say that Miriam, in institutions that was rules. In good governance, Miriam, you can see in terms of the redemption strategy in Tanzania, they got it right, Miriam. They didn't quarrel, they didn't do it, Miriam. The constitution says that the deputy president becomes the president, Miriam. You saw she was sworn in, and you heard her say that that Magufuli, during his lifetime, had mentored her very well. So I know, Miriam, you in Tanzania, Miriam, and Dr. Masanga said, you don't do things from your head, Miriam. Chama cha Mapinduzi is a revolutionary party. You come with your own things which are not tantam with the party, Miriam, you will find yourself in difficult. That's how serious Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere prepared Chama cha Mapinduzi and Tanzania, Miriam. There is a path which you will follow, and you will never deviate for that. But John Paul Magufuli, Miriam, he was a true nationalist. He was a Tanzanian. And on that one, Madam Samia should borrow that one, Miriam. It's good to be very patriotic, to love your country. And even as Chavan has said, and he has said very good, and even Douglas, Miriam, as a deputy president, Miriam, you didn't see her undermine her post the way it is happening here in Kenya.
In fact,
the president is saying this.
It is
you are saying this.
It is reported even in Tanzania, there are people who do not know their deputy president. That is how it is. There are people who are shocked now. They learn. Oh, we even had a female deputy president. They did not know. Even in Tanzania itself, even us here, we didn't know until 2 weeks ago. But yeah,
that is how Chama cha Mapinduzi is.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much, Daniel Wesonga.
So, Miriam, of course, my fellow panelists have given their very candid opinion on that. And mine is just to put an add-on. And I'll say that 5 years is a very long time for Madam Suluhu, Her Excellency, to have aligned quite well with the manifesto, whatever agenda, the blueprint that the late President John Pombe Magufuli had for the people of Tanzania. So for her, she's inheriting a structure that has been properly laid out there for her. The only thing perhaps maybe she might have to change is the advisors. She might not use the same advisors that President Magufuli had. Every president has their preferred set of advisors, and that will actually alter some of the policies, perhaps just by a small deviation from what the late president had. But when it comes to the policy they had in terms of service delivery, in terms of to revolutionize the infrastructure in Tanzania and working hand in hand with the CCM manifesto, I believe she's going to carry on the legacy, and she's going on to ensure that part of the project that Magufuli had flagged on are going to be taken forward through her administration. So all in all, Miriam, I'm very optimistic that she's going to carry the legacy on. But in terms of maybe handling the corona situation in Tanzania, I believe that is a matter of policy. And as you know, policy, just like our constitution, is something which is more likely to change even today or tomorrow. So that one will depend on what advice or what perspective she holds in terms of tackling that. But when it comes to legacy, I think she has had enough time under President John Pombe Magufuli, and it will be even her own pleasure to keep on moving the legacy that the president left when he succumbed to the complications.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel, for that. Samuel, should she decide and do things differently, especially, I think right now the world is waiting to see how she will respond to COVID-19, how her government will handle this pandemic. Should she decide to do things differently or follow into the footsteps of how Magufuli handled this situation? How will that affect her, I think, in the eyes of Tanzanians? How do you think they will respond to that?
Thanks once more, Miriam. And I think I should start by saying that, first of all, I personally have a lot of confidence, on the person of Samia Suluhu to actually take Tanzania to the next level. The same confidence was actually exemplified, by the former president, that is and give services to the people of Tanzania, especially at this particular moment. Second is about the policy. You've asked me whether she has to shift policy from what maybe the late President John Pombe Magufuli used to do. From her speech when she was sworn into office, I didn't quite see that coming. She's a person who is committed to take or to continue with the policies and the legacy that was left behind by her predecessor, that is JPM. And I think that is the way to go. I haven't seen her actually coming out and questioning maybe certain policies that were laid down by President John Pombe Magufuli, but affirming her resolve to continue where the president left, at least between now and the next 5 years. And I think that is good from her. Another thing, Miriam, that I want to point out is that you could clearly see the kind of humility and the kind of devoted this lady is when she spoke last time, and the commitment she displayed in as far as bringing together all political leaders for the benefit of the people of Tanzania. She said this is not the time for political bickering, this is not the time for enmity, this is not the time for political contest, it's time to, bury the hatchet, the political differences, and come together and provide service for the people of Tanzania. I think that is very good from her, especially at a time when we have some political leaders, especially drawn from the opposition, who are actually on exile, including Tundu Lissu, who is the main opposition leader currently in Belgium. So when she came out and said that she's ready to work with all political leaders, including the opposition, I think that is a very positive gesture that should be welcomed. And therefore, Miriam, what I think is that this lady is actually equal to the task. She has to be given support and given time to give services to the people of Tanzania, to maybe for some policies that she feels are not good. Now that she's inviting views and opinion from other political leaders, say, for example, the diplomatic relations between Kenya and Tanzania, or maybe Tanzania with other countries, be it within the region or internationally. I think those are some of the things this lady is going to sit down and look into them. Like one of the panelists said, President Magufuli is a human being. He could have erred in one or two things. And I think this is not the time to pinpoint and maybe say this is wrong, this is right. It is time for those who have been left behind to sit down together and find out what is good for the people of Tanzania and what is good for the region. If it's about restoring the diplomatic relations with other countries, if it's about the measures or in as far as the fight about COVID-19 is concerned, so be it. So I have trust and confidence in this lady to take Tanzania to the next level, Miriam.
Thank you. Musa.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miriam. And just to make my humble submission is that, Miriam, first of all, whatever Kenya is going through now in the process of BBI and national reconciliation is what Mwalimu Julius Nyerere transpired over, Miriam, over 50 years ago. And it was never easy for Mwalimu Nyerere at first place. Uniting 122 ethnic groups, Miriam, to call them Watanzania under one language of Kiswahili was never easy. There were a lot of opposition, Miriam. And the same way is happening with Uhuru Kenyatta. So, and Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, they should not, be frustrated, because it is a process, they will come over it. And I really feel confident, Miriam, if indeed the building of national ethos can give you a Christian president working with a Muslim president, then I'm for BBI, Miriam. Because this is, if you really want to see the product of BBI, just look at Ujamaa Miriam on the part of, uniting the Tanzanians, bringing 122 ethnic groups, Miriam, to form one group. If you see the intention of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere and try to compare it with what Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga are doing, they are very similar, Miriam. This country has been fighting for 42 tribes, and now there is that need of being, that Ukenya being brought. As far as Madam Samia Suluhu is concerned, Miriam, she's a regional expert. President John Pombe Magufuli has really been training her on occasions of her representing the nation in SADC conference, the South African Development Corporation. She's really been in touch as far as strengthening East African community issues on policy, trade, and infrastructure is concerned. She's really been at the forefront, Miriam. And there is a beauty in that, of which I really agree when now a woman president, Miriam, is now becoming a president in Tanzania. She's bringing that symbol of national healing and that symbol of motherhood, Miriam. And I know it is really hard, and I should just spill the beans. I know for the last time we saw such a strong lady in our country was Professor Wangari Maathai, Miriam. And this is the right time. The Kenyan women leaders should be learning to take a leave, Miriam. Not by all the time for you to be endorsed by someone to become a president. Just be patient, be known, be in the process, and you can become someone like Samia Suluhu, Miriam. I know our women leaders are really strong, they are really positive, they are educated, but if they really want to borrow a leaf, Miriam, President Uhuru Kenyatta said, we want to build the politics whereby we don't have to endorse people. Let the community, let the citizens endorse you. So I believe as far as that is concerned, and directly heading to the issue of foreign policy, I know we've had a lot of differences, Miriam, at the border during the time of COVID-19. The construction of the oil terminal, the oil pipeline from, the one for Uganda, which they want to decide whether it will pass through Tanzania or Kenya. She's a peacemaker. She's from Zanzibar, Miriam, and she's someone who understands even issues of maritime. For the first time, I can see if really Kenya even want to succeed in the object of what is happening with our neighbors in Somalia, Miriam, the best time to bring on board a mother who is a peacemaker and someone who can understand and can be a beacon of hope, Miriam. I've already seen, I'm not saying it to preempt political space, but I've already seen the predecessor for President Uhuru Kenyatta as far as the chairpersonship or the chairmanship of East African Community is concerned, Miriam. That is a country which is in the healing process. And to make my final submission, Miriam, and this is a challenge to my deputy president, to all these Tanga people, to those people who are believing in chaos. If you really want to see that you have been good to people, then we shall see you in your burial, Miriam. Look at the University of, look at Dar es Salaam, Miriam, today. People are lining up in millions, Miriam. Thousands of lines. People are paying their tribute to President John Pombe Magufuli. Let me tell you, you can criticize a person, but the moment they leave this world, Miriam, in Islam, we say, if you really want to know a person is going to paradise, look at how he is loved by the people, Miriam. And that is what we saw today. That is what we have been seeing for the past three days, Miriam, when people are crying, people are fainting, Miriam, seeing Jembe, as they call him, or Chuma, or the bulldozer taking his deep rest, Miriam. And my humble submission to our Kenyan leaders, it is not the time, we've seen a lot of bashing, Tanzanians, some people are saying, we killed President John Pombe Magufuli before he died. No, these are issues of social media, Miriam. One thing we should learn from our brothers in Tanzania, the politics of transition, Miriam, what President Uhuru Kenyatta is fighting for. The politics of Miriam is a leader, Wesonga can lead, not a certain tribe, not a certain clan can lead. So I believe, Miriam, and I'm really in good conviction that Madam Samia Suluhu will lead that very beautiful country of Tanzania to more eras of stability and to more eras of prosperity, Miriam. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Joseph, what do you make of the new leadership there in Tanzania, and what should we expect in the future?
Thank you very much, Miriam. I think for me, allow me to paraphrase the words of Churchill. He said, the test of a great leader is not where he or she stands in a moment of comfort and convenience, but where he or she stands at times of challenge and controversy. You saw immediately the news was made of the demise of the president of Tanzania. the vice president came out with a demeanor of empathy, which will go a long way to galvanize support of Magufuli to her side. So she has already begun with a strength because she showed a lot of humility. By the way, people don't care how much you know or how much you have until they know how much you care. So for me, I want to analyze in three elements, for purposes of trying to put in respect to see how she would go around it. She showed a demeanor of humility because she's the one, by the way, who announced the death of Magufuli. Number two, she has supported the president all through, which of now galvanizing supporters of the former president to her side. It may not be 100%, but it's going to be significant because she has been loyal. Number three, she is a woman. I don't want to bring my faith here. For me, the Bible says a woman is a helper. I usually ask leaders, who's stronger, a helper or the one to be helped?
A helper.
I want to assure you, Sulu, as a woman, she's deemed to be a helper, and she's going to be strong. Because at the same time, she's going to galvanize women also on her side. However, she needs to be very cautious on who to seek counsel from. I would advise her never to seek counsel from politicians. Two, make sure that she whips the party technocrats to her side, not to ignore the party structure, because the party is very strong in Tanzania. Three, also seek counsel from other president counterparts from the region, because there is a tendency in Africa of suffering from what we call the black glove syndrome. You know, the black glove syndrome is where if actually you take a size number of black gloves and put them in a bottle which is open at the top, you do not put a lid at the top, you can go for a safari and come back and find the gloves are still inside. They won't escape. Why? Because when others want to escape, the others will pull it down. There has been this tendency in Africa where the regional leaders pull others down. If she can take advantage and say, because she has an advantage of being a woman, and tell the men presidents, guys, I have been a helper. This is the vision for the continent. This is the vision for the region. I am telling you, she's going to get support. But you only need to have people who are wise to advise you. I could also advise her never to leave out at the regional leaders to advise her. Of course, behind the scenes, she is going to succeed. There is the issue whether she will continue to advance the philosophy or the policies of Magufuli. Of course, that is the line she has to pursue. Remember also, ladies don't wear as big shoe size as men. That does not mean she's not going to follow. But she may, at her own discretion, adjust as circumstances prevail, at the same time to watch the mood of the country's citizens. It is key. If she follows this, in my own view, she's going to succeed. Because already, you know, women, even in here in Kenya, I heard them saying, at least we are relieved. As a region, we have the first president, and we do not know when we're going to have the next, because men want to dominate. That may sound very remote, but you know, it is a constituency of strength she can build on. Mm-hmm. For me, I wish her well, and I hope she will get wise counsel as she puts the country together for the betterment of her country and the region at large. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very well said there. That is Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And in regards to the counsel you're asking her to seek, for those who know her very well, she is known to listen to counsel more and is not one to make unilateral decisions. So perhaps listening to counsel is not a problem, but you're very keen in pointing out she should listen to the right counsel there, and then maybe she'll make very good decisions there. Thank you so much for that. Dr. David.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I want to thank all of you for that analysis. But there are 4 components, and I will touch them. 1, Tanzania is a conservative, and I'm taking notes on this. It's a conservative society. That gives her a new age. I'm knocking points so that you can discuss in other sessions. Conservative society, reserved, she will manage. That's why they accepted quickly. 2, there is one factor that all of you have not spoken about. And I want to bring it to your notes. The army and the army. If you have grown in Tanzania, and you want to know what Tanzania is, there are 2 things that rule Tanzania. TPDF and the CCM. Full stop. The doctrine of what Mwalimu Julius Nyerere built in an army is the doctrine Uhuru Kenyatta is introducing in Nairobi NMS. Hallelujah. Look at this country in Kenya. Let's look at the key areas which have done so well. There is a military element at the head. In Tanzania, most of those institutions, and I bet in the name of God, go and check. Most of the institutions in Tanzania are military men or ex-military officials, well trained, well conversed with nationalism. What keeps Tanzania united, Miriam, is the army. And by the way, Tanzania has a huge army. A huge army. Very good army. But they are united in one conservative manner. That kama mwalimu anasema hii, tutaenda na hiyo ya mwalimu. Even in a rural area, a small lady, a younger girl says, mwalimu alikwambia upitie hapa. Yes, tutapitia hapa. The army and the party are together. Point number 3, and that one, Dr. Joseph brought it nicely. The party and the army. That is why I needed to add something on that. On you, one of the points, the missing link. Why everything is going smoothly. Take it from me for free to the bank. It's the Tanzanian People's Defense Forces. I've spoken to my commander. He's still alive. He's 101 years. I've spoken to the sons, Lieutenant General Muzuguri, Black Mamba. I spoke to one of the sons who is one of the directorates. In fact, one of the directorates. I can't say it on TV, but in one of very senior officer in the directorate. Yesterday he told me one thing. Mama Suluhu cannot manage if we don't want. You get my point? If we don't want. Sisi ndio chama. That's what he said. Sisi wenye chama. Sisi ndio watu wa chama. Sisi ndio wa muungano. We are the people of the party. We are the people of the unity. And we agree. And we have agreed. And that is the grandson of General Muzuguri. He told me he's in government. So uko, there is no hake business ya hii Ruto kutembea huko na huko. Hakuna. Unatembea huko na huko, chama inakuleta inakata. Kata. Shh. Get out of the party. That's why you see Lowassa was tembea huko na huko. They cut him off. Then he came back and said, no, the only party you can belong to and win an election is CCM. The third point, before I let it go, why she'll succeed is Tanzanians still have a social contract. There's no country on the African continent, Dr. Joseph, which has a social contract like a Tanzania. Show me. Show me one. Show me. Show me. Or Professor Nyari, Jared, Daniel, show me one. Which has a social. Which country in Africa gives its people a paycheck on Friday? Hakuna. Kenya, we are just beginning. A check even arrives at midnight of the third month. When you have even eaten the dates in the shops. Tanzania was trained on Ujamaa, Hutu, Ubuntu. Let me teach this so that people understand. The Hutu, that Hutu thing is winning them. Kusaidiana na marafiki. They want, does anybody know here? For example, let me tell you why justify what you call a conservative government. Did you all know that Burundi was invaded? Did you see it in the headlines? No, did you see it in the newspaper? Burundi, when Nkurunziza was overthrown temporarily, did you hear that Burundi, there were Tanzanian troops in Bujumbura? Where did you hear it written? Where? But that's the truth. Tanzanian troops went and picked that general like this, kwa mikono, toa. That he ran into exile, into Rwanda. But who in East Africa dared to say, to point a finger? Who? Even Museveni feared. Who? Did you know, Miriam? You didn't know. Tanzanian troops entered Bujumbura, removed the man who was in the radio station broadcasting. He ran. If he had not run, he would have been in jail in Dar es Salaam. That's an army of liberation, an army taught on serious discipline of liberating Africa. That is the good value. That is them who, it is the army, like a United States. There is no government in the United States, Miriam. The government in the United States is Pentagon. Anybody who has studied American history or politics on this panel, Joseph, you will tell me the truth. Am I wrong?
You are right.
Pentagon. If they say we are going to shoot Tawish in his chat, where he's seated right now, they will go for you. But if Joe Biden says he's going to shoot, they will say, no, bring it to Pentagon. What are the advantages? They give the biggest asset of an African administration is mixing these two and keeping these two. Sonko was playing with our money in town. Our money now, we can eat food which falls on the floor. Yeah? Are you not happy to go to Nairobi town on Saturday? Yesterday, someone went to the streets there and they told me that, wow, when are you going to visit those streets? Things are beginning to work. The army brought in as, because most of the politicians, somebody here said never trust a politician. Who was it? Was it Dr. Joseph? There's someone who said don't trust any politician. Who is it?
In fact, Margaret Thatcher defined them, they are like nappies and they must be changed often for the same reason.
Exactly. But if you brought in a man like General Badi, you will live longer. There are toilets now everywhere. People are getting to say Nairobi, the buses, you can stand here when it comes, you shelter somewhere. That is good. Let me end by saying one thing. Samora Machel said, if one day you hear the white speak well of me, know that I have betrayed you. Quote that, Usonga, you are very good at those type of quotes. And then, Samora Machel went further to say, and a black man that is constantly being praised by the whites is a sellout. Does that statement summarize all our problems? It summarizes our problems. But there is one problem in the house. The mama has to work on COVID-19. I don't want to leave this scenario without giving my guidance as an elder in Africa. COVID-19 is real. SOPs must return. And they must return so that Tanzanians are equal to the international community. We cannot be an isolation. That is one of the things that most of us who are friends of Tanzania and the friends of the people, some people in Tanzania, we are pushing slowly through the generals who have lived there. Say, please, but this thing is real. Wear a mask. Put social distancing. You saw the whole place was full of no, I don't know, I think it was, the instructions were very clear, no mask. Apart from the bishops. So if this goes on, and we are breathing the same air that comes from Lake Victoria and Kilimanjaro mountain on this side, I don't know. Because if I go from this panel without pointing out the weaknesses, I will be a deadly doctor who should tear his degree out. I must balance my assessment. The assessment is that the era is the best, but Mama Suluhu must wake up, pull up, and tell the people, come on. The direction was very good. We had gone very well. Nyerere himself pulled out from a communist state, a social state, to a capitalist system. When he brought in Mwinyi encompassed the capitalist system, allowed capital injection, private injection of individuals feeling like they can inject and earn their own money until that is brought, and which we shall break. Miriam, we are home and home and home. But one key point that my panel should take tonight, this afternoon, what molds Tanzania together is the army and the party. There is no difference between the army and the party in Tanzania. Walayamu. And that's why Museveni picked that and across Uganda also. What has molded President Museveni into power is the army and the NRM. Am I wrong?
You're right.
Look at that. We are teaching students here who are taking notes. And we don't want to teach wrong things. Across in Uganda, there are 10 members of parliament, generals themselves. In Tanzania, most of the MPs are generals of CCM. They were in the army. They are all trained. There is Chikosi Malum. Sorry, not Chikosi Malum was ours. There is FFU, Fanya Fujo Uone. There is Jeshi ya Mugambo. Jeshi ya Mugambo is like a Tawish here fits in Jeshi ya Mugambo. By now, Tawish would be doing Mchaka. Jeshi ya Mugambo. This Musa here would be in Jeshi ya Mugambo. Hapana kulala hapo mtu anakuja kukupiga. Somebody comes to beat you and you cry. No. In Tanzania hakuna mtu unapiga na cry. Unapiga anasema wacha nirudi. Wesonga here would be. This Dr. Professor Nyadi would be there. Jeshi ya Mugambo, General, retired. You know, Matanga is retired. Douglas Karimi could be taken from Mchaka. You know, Japani Karanja, all of these people. Let me tell you, that's the formation of Tanzania. That is what Tanzania is. It has its faults, but it has its teachings. In Uganda, for example, is there anywhere you can go and fool any person? My mom is 90 years old. She's the chairperson of LC1. And you know what she keeps in the village? Can I shock you? You know what is in her custody?
Go ahead.
AK-47. It is in her house. She's the chairperson. Are you not shocked now? The chairperson there keeps the AK-47. Where you are, if there's trouble in the village, the LOC defense secretary comes to collect it and assign to safeguard the villagers who are being robbed. So each village in Uganda, look at our formation in Kampala. Each village in Uganda has a gun, official gun. Each village. So wewe niambie muizi utaiba gari uende kupeleka gari kwa msituni Nyamira huko kwa maji umfiche. You cut trees of all Nyamira and hide the vehicle. They will find it. So President Museveni copied from the Tanzanian style of Mwalimu Nyerere. I submit the era of Mama Suluhu will be stronger if the army goes on supporting him. And the army is fully behind him. That is why they took over the ceremony. You won't see any Mr. Lee funeral. What is it called? Lee what? Hakuna. Lee Hakuna. Paka uko. Because Magufuli was considered a military guy. And indeed he was. Well trained. Jeshi ya Mugambo. For him, he didn't go for the Rio, but he was a Jeshi ya Mugambo. I know. 1965, was it 65 when he came out? 1965 or 75? When 1965, people were already with AK-47. 2 years later on.
83, 84.
Yes, 2 years later on. 1978, some of us started testing that machine. So these are some of the things. So Miriam, I submit, we don't have much time, but I think we have picked the basis. She will succeed. She will succeed. And let's pray for her. And you as a woman, the only woman who has been pushed on this panel, you should be the most happiest that for the first time, everybody is praying in East Africa. I wish there was a woman president in Uganda. I wish there was a woman president in Kenya. Men have shown us a lot of machoism, kila mtu ana ego hiyo na shinda ya Ruto ako na ego. You can't tell him anything. I know. Before you finish the sentence, I know. So what will you do? You run out of the office. I know that one. Yeah, then you know everything. Then go to God. Go and ask God. God has told you know everything. So the crisis in Kenya here today is because I know. It was not supposed to be there. So thank you very much. Let's move on to another topic of Nigeria. A crumbling giant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. I know our time is far gone, but this is something that we promised our viewers. So let's just quickly look at what is happening there in Nigeria as we see a lot of kidnapping happening. Children, especially in schools, are being kidnapped. They're released, and the government comes out and denies even paying the ransom there. And the freeing of the 279 girls in Zamfara State a few weeks ago meant a bit of relief to the parents, but also raised a couple of questions in what has become now a clear pattern there in Nigeria. Of course, we remember the 2014 when everybody in the world rallied behind the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, when Chibok schoolgirls were abducted by Boko Haram militants in the northeastern Borno state. And now it has become the whole, what is happening there in the entire north in Nigeria, and it's no longer an ideology. It has become what a lot of Nigerians would say a business. And President Muhammadu Buhari himself from the north recently purged his military command in the face of the outcry. But what is really happening there in Nigeria? Perhaps, Doctor, you'll start for us, and then shortly the rest of the panelists will give their opinion on what is happening there.
Thank you very much. I will be very brief. 4 years ago, we noticed signs of a breakdown in Nigeria. The return of the 1967 war, the discrimination of the Igbo, the killings, the torture, the slaughter, the mayhem that took place in southeastern Nigeria. This mayhem, this destruction, these killings of women, men, younger men, because of the support they had for Nnamdi Kanu, is what has made us to start broadcasting about Nigeria. Nigeria is a crumbling giant. It's a shell full of difficulties, obstacles, challenges. It's a cocktail of disaster. It's a bomb waiting to explode. Nigeria is cut into several factions. The center, as was written in the book of Things Fall Apart, cannot hold anymore. Nigeria stands at the crossroads. Muslims are killing Christians. Fulani are slaughtering Christians. Factions are arming their armed men. The Northerners are arming their men to go and destroy. The Igbo people are being told to leave north. Boko Haram, also a terrorist group, is arming, killing, maiming, abducting all the children, the younger generation, the girls. Nigeria is a falling state, a falling giant. Why did Nigeria reach where it is? First, General Buhari wanted to accomplish what he did not accomplish in 1967. Remember, the war ended between Biafra Ojukwu and the General Yakubu Gowon. It ended in 1967, but the generals from the north and other places were not happy that the war ended. They wanted to finish the Igbo people. They wanted to eliminate everybody who came from the Igbo land. I don't speak while I'm fearing of Buhari. He has only 2 years left to go. If we meet in the place of God up there, let him be separated from me, and I sit very far. Buhari and Mr. Changarai Morgan, they sit very far from each other. But President Buhari has a system of seeing and not seeing, and saying and not saying. It's a policy. It's a Stockholm syndrome in the political science. A Stockholm syndrome of violence, using violence, which touches, leave the people to sort, they will come and submit. He has killed many, watched over the slaughter until his people went on social media and said enough is enough. The police are killing us. They are extorting money from us. They are taking bribes. Corruption is rampant. General, what are you doing? Miriam, it is very unfortunate, and I never allow this to happen to your house or any of you into your house. That when you see mouse, the rats eating one of your sofa sets, there's one thing that you should always watch out. Please make sure that that sofa set is removed and thrown out. In my culture, such a sofa set is not repaired, because rats like sleeping in the downy sofa as you lie on top. Why did God say this? You are as poor as a church mouse. Because church mouse don't make decisions. So when they come to eat it means you have no decision to make. When they all pour on your president's office and eat all the sofa set, eat all the stationery there, that was a sign that Nigeria was not going to be the same anymore. I want to submit that there is torture in southeastern Nigeria today. In Onitsha, Port Harcourt, Enugu, all these places, Lagos, all these states in southeastern Nigeria where the Igbo community are, they are being killed by the Fulani herdsmen who have been armed. Earlier on last year, the beginning of the year, 100,000 knives, long daggers, were confiscated at Lagos airport. Somebody had imported them. For who? To kill people. Surely, Nigeria is a falling giant, crumbling giant. Look at what they have done elsewhere. 220 million people. Out of 220 million people, if we sold each and every day, we gave each and every one an avocado at $50 each, how much money would we get a day? If we exported our kitenge from Eldoret to them, how much? 220 million people, and they buy $1 each, a kitenge. How much money would Nigeria make, and how much would we make? There would be plenty of money. It's a big giant with a big population in the entire Africa, but we have a problem. It has no administration. The president has collapsed. The man is not the real one. People say he's called Jabril. I don't know whether he's a real president. He has never come out to say enough is enough. My last point, I cannot leave without saying it because time is against. We might not get time to say it. Security. Insecurity in Nigeria has become the norm of the day. You wake up with 200 girls abducted. The army is corrupt. And I told you in the Tanzanian issue, if the army is not formidable, if the army is not united, if the army is implicated in corruption scandals, no country can fight a war. Nigeria cannot fight the insurgency of Boko Haram because the army is corrupt and divided. Therefore, we have a problem coming in our hands. What do we do as Africans? When can we do something that will create a better Africa? Nigeria is a disgrace. Nigeria disgraces me. When I see a giant crumbling, it is sad for me. As an Pan-African, I think of Baba Tafa Balewa. I think of my great friends who have perished. Mashudu Abiola. I think of the people, Ken, Sarawa. I think of them. I cry for them. They stood out for this country. I think of the people who perished, who are perishing. I think Nigeria needs a quick political surgery. There is no government in Nigeria except a shell. Therefore, it will collapse. The earlier the military takes over, I'm sure we are going towards there. It looks like one general will wake up in the morning, Miriam, and knock on the door. That's how coups happen in Nigeria. And I'm shocked that one paper in Kenya today said Nigerians are the most happiest people in Africa. Have you seen something like that?
Where they say Kenyans are grumpier. Was it at the Standard? I think on page 2 there, Kenyans have, according to a survey, Kenyans were noted to be grumpy. There, I think we make a lot of noise, but that is because perhaps we are woke. I don't know.
You're grumpier, yeah? No, it is because maybe Nigerians are happy because after seeing this type of treatment, you have to be happy to laugh. But the Kenyans query. One thing about Kenya is they query. And another thing about Kenya is that if you pour tea on him in a nightclub or beer and you don't say sorry, he will look at you and the eyes will bring you down. That is, they have something. The eyes only can kill you. That is true. Ugandans, for us, we even continue smiling as if we don't know we have made a mistake. That's our nature. But then we have a very bad problem, Miriam, that when I tell you, okay, you are the one who is running around with my wife, let me come back. What do you do if there is a ventilator in that house? Use that ventilator to run away. I think Tawish will tell you the truth. Use a ventilator to run away. Because if it is the doors are closed, break the ventilator. Because when a Ugandan comes back, he's not coming back to Pembelesha Wewe or to laugh with you next. That is now where we differ. But you people are very good people. You look at the eyes only can kill you in Kenya. You know? You go to a nightclub like a kisser. You are dancing and the man comes to pour, you accidentally the beer goes on he stands around, even leaves the wife to go and looks at you. You want to run down and say, please, 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 please. And when you look at his volume, he can finish you in a few minutes. You say, sorry. Nasema sorry what? He doesn't even answer. So that one maybe, but Nigerians are doing it, Miriam, because they have a problem at home. It's a very big problem. The number of refugees in Kenya now, Nigerians applying to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees here in Waiyaki. Is it Waiyaki where? Yes. Somewhere there. It's huge. I was told yesterday it's very huge. In Zimbabwe it's huge. In South Africa it's huge. So Nigerians are living in big numbers. I submit.
It's quite interesting, and maybe we should just look at this tomorrow on a lighter note. Nigeria is the happiest African country in the world. I wonder how that is when you read reports of people being killed on Friday. 13 people were killed on Friday, and then just over the weekend, armed bandits attacked a man and his brother as they returned. This all happens in the north area of Nigeria, and also 56 homes were burned and raided a couple of days ago, and a lot of things have been happening. There are children being thrown at grenade while they're just playing out there in the field, and schools in certain parts of Nigeria there now cannot operate because of fears of being abducted. And what is really interesting suggesting is that the rest of Nigeria is not outraged with what is happening in the north part of Nigeria. Dr. Joseph, what do you think this could be the reason? What could be the reason?
Thank you very much. I think Dr. David has analyzed, and I'm amazed with the tragedy there. First of all, before Miriam might come to that question, I think the leadership in Nigeria needs to borrow a leave from Abraham Lincoln. Maybe you can allow me, Miriam.
Go ahead.
There was a time Abraham Lincoln requested this Minister of Treasury, Salmon Chase, to sell the treasury bills so that he could finance the war effort, which was the Civil War. You know, the minister told the president that it was unconstitutional because the Senate or the Congress had not approved. You know what the president told the minister? The life of the citizens here is at risk. And they asked him, can you destroy the people and preserve the Constitution? It cannot be. In fact, even there is a law provision that says, for purely supreme legs, meaning that the welfare of the people is the supreme law. I could like to appeal to the Nigerian leadership, even if it means of withdrawing the Constitution, to protect the life of the people, especially children. Further amazement, young girls. Then means Nigeria as a state is living on a borrowed time. How do you kill your children who are female and expect in future to have a nation? These people, they need to wake up. In fact, I'm so annoyed from Dr. Masanga's analysis. They need to wake up quickly as a leadership. Why it is saying that the Nigerian people are happy? It is a symbol of selfishness. So long as nothing is threatening me, I don't care what takes place in my neighborhood. That's why they're not worried on what takes place at the places. This thing is wide, Miriam. In fact, we can discuss a whole year. But in short, if the Nigerian leadership is listening to this forum, they need to act as yesterday. Seek support, even if it means from outside, from military, and protect the life of the Nigerian citizen. Under the maximum of purely supreme legs, the welfare of the people is the supreme law. You know, people continue citing, oh, the Constitution, the law. Can you have a constitution without people? That's what Abraham Lincoln asked. Where did these leaders go to school? Are they listening? I feel hurt, by the way, that they are killing girls. Oh my goodness. Are these Nigerian people sane? They are living on a borrowed time. I think that, Madam, there is a lot of selfishness and there is a lot of selectiveness in conclusions of happiness. Of course, we usually say there is no door to happiness because it is always open. I think the problem is deeper, and I cannot, in fact, zero in on specific areas, but I will say one statement. Dr. Masanga, I don't know what power you have. Can you appeal to the leaders to go into their senses? Because these are our fellow human beings dying. And remember what I began with. There's no man who's an island. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Never ask for whom the bell tolls. Is tolling for thee. This bell of Nigeria, Miriam, is tolling to each one of us. We must stand up, reach out to the leaders, or African leaders needs to reach to their counterpart and they put sanity in him. If he needs external support, let him say, For me, Miriam, I'm a bit emotional. That is what I could comment.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Karanja. I know this was not even part of it. Perhaps we'll have it tomorrow, or I'll talk about it in Diaspora Dispatches in the afternoon, because I really want to go look at the full report of this happiness report. Nigeria leading in Africa, the happiest countries, and knowing part of the country wants to secede. The Biafra people wants to leave the larger Nigeria because they don't even feel being treated as part of Nigeria. They feel like they're being treated as substandardly, and they've been marginalized, and they're being treated as if they're not part of it. And so they've been calling for secession. And you're coming to tell us this country that some of its citizens don't even want to be part of it is one of the happiest in the continent. This is ridiculous, but more so the security situation there in Nigeria. Jevon. Douglas.
Right. They are not there.
Professor.
Yeah. Miriam, we have discussed Nigeria in the past. It was the other day, you saw the Nigerian national saying that we forgot about them. We have not forgotten them. We will continue speaking for the continent of Africa and Nigeria, because that's a moral thing to do. Miriam, this is how you measure a functional government, Miriam. The business of any government, Miriam, is to protect life and property. And Miriam, any government which cannot protect the younger generation, that's a gone generation, because Miriam, without the young people, there's no country. So the situation in Nigeria is one thing. And Dr. Joseph, what you are trying to say, what you are trying to do, we are doing, even if we are talking to a stone, which of course we know it is not hearing according to the Bukusu traditions. But we have done our part. We have said all is not well in Nigeria. General Buhari said in the first time in office that he will crush Boko Haram. Has he done it? So what we want to do, the situation in Nigeria is one thing, and Miriam, the time for action is not yesterday. It's not another time, it is now. And the people of Nigeria, they should go outside the powers that they hold and ensure that they bring back their country. Even if it goes to the military way, because let me tell you, Miriam, the way the best language the Nigerian people understand is the military language. Taking to them democracy, that's rubbish. And that's why you see now they're being taken round and round. But the situation is somewhere, and this is what I want to submit.
Professor, the president is a former military guy, a professor.
Yes, but Miriam, let me tell you. If you have ever entered any club of leadership, Miriam, you go there and you are reoriented, Miriam. You are a socialist, Miriam. You change the former you used to be. Today, we will be speaking the same language, and tomorrow I climb the ladder and I become a leader. You will wonder what has happened. So, these African leaders, Joseph is recommending that they help him. They are all the same. The power to take Nigerian forward, Miriam, it is the people of Nigeria. The other day, Miriam, you saw what the youth did, the hashtag among the youth. They were almost taking their country, they were slowed down, but they should go forward, Miriam, to build a united Nigeria, a country with a population over 250 million. Is not a country which can crumble down, Miriam, with all the oil resources they have, Miriam. It's not a country which we need to take to ignore, Miriam. Dr. Masanga has talked about Ken Sarah Wira, Miriam, about the gone people, about the kind of pollution which is going on, Miriam. What is killing Nigeria, Miriam, is corruption. And remember, God created all resources, which is enough for all of us, but not one for one greedy individual with unsatisfied appetites. But for my final submission here, Miriam, action is needed to be taken. Time for talking now is all gone, but this is the time for action. And I hope, Miriam, the stone which starts rolling continue gathering momentum. we have started the conversation. May the people of Nigeria come on the ground. When we are discussing this, where are they? We cannot be able to mourn more Miriam more than the bereaved Miriam. We don't need to become professional mourners. We want to team Miriam. And I always say, and I always quote you that, let us not leave anyone behind if we have to take Africa forward. I submit.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Very important observation there you've made. We cannot mourn when the bereaved are not mourning there. And that brings me to my question, Samuel Tawish. Why is it that what is happening there in especially the north part of Nigeria that is quite worrying, and the rest of Nigerians seems not to really worry too much? Where is the disconnect, and what does this say about the country and the leadership thereof, and the people in general?
Mm-hmm. Unless Musa is not there.
All right. Musa, go ahead.
Musa.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Matsanga, thank you so much, Miriam. And I really feel proud that I have Dr. Matsanga, I have Professor Onyari here. I'm really learning a lot as far as, issues of peace and reconciliation is concerned. And
don't forget Dr. Joseph is here.
Yes. The new professor. I've really learned some quotes on Margaret Thatcher on the issue of nappies. Thank you so much. And Miriam, when I was 2 years ago, I really got trained and I even received certification on issues of counterterrorism and violent extremism in Kenya, especially northern Kenya. And we were told, we studied the case of Nigeria as far as this is concerned, is that Dr. Matsanga has spoken about Ken Saro Wiwa of the Ogoni people. Professors mentioned on the advent of these people, suffering from pollution. He has spoken about the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Abubakar, the great leaders, Nnamdi Azikiwe. And now, when I look at Nigeria, Miriam, is that I look at Nigeria from the advent of Biafra declaration. The Igbo community, when they were subjected to government exclusion, and remember at the time of independence, Miriam, the Igbos are the most educated and they were well learned. But they got some sense of, exclusion because the British felt that the export of groundnuts, Miriam, the export of cashew nuts would favor the Fulanis, and in a way they should exclude the Igbos. The rain started beating Nigerians from that advent, Miriam. And now we are seeing the advent and, the issues of proliferations of, insurgencies coming into Nigeria, Miriam. Remember when the Islamic State of the Syria and the Levant, ISIS, they were defeated in Syria and Iraq. They declared that the new destination shall be the Maghreb and the northern part of Africa. And we've seen in a way that, Miriam, a lot of this arms smuggling, a lot of these, people being radicalized. Actually, the issue of radicalization of youths to join these terror groups in the name of Boko Haram, Miriam, to draw that religious war is really being fronted by Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda is having a very numerous presence in the region, Miriam, and the Nigerian border is not spared. Coming to the second advent, Miriam, Dr. Matsanga spoke about the issue of corruption as far as this is concerned. He said 220 million people. Account for them 5 million. I mean, $50, how much will they get? When you recount the time of Sani Abacha, Miriam, when you recount how he really mistreated Ken Saro Wiwa, when you recount the times of the light of Umaru Yar'Adua, Always Tuguno Obasanjo, how they presided over Jonathan Goodluck, how they presided over the issue of corruption, Miriam, none of them pick up this point. And now it is coming back to haunt them. You're not only fighting the people who have been excluded from the government, Miriam. The Igbos have been excluded, so they feel the only way they can retaliate against the government is by doing what? Is by joining Boko Haram, which is being funded by Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and ISIL in the region, Miriam. So we are seeing people who are feeling that their rule of self-determination and having their new entity of a country in the name of Biafra, because up to now, no Igbo, Miriam, no Igbo community No Igbo community member, Miriam, has been the president of that nation up to now. And now they feel like the people they should associate themselves with these ISIS and these proliferators, Miriam, coming from northern part of Africa. So my humble submission to the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari, he understands the issue of war very well because he's a military man, Miriam. And the issue of Fulani is now, terrorizing, Miriam, taking everything, every precedence of these oil fields of the Kano, Miriam. I think it should come down to one thing. Nigeria, the same way they helped Gambia, Miriam, it is the same. It is the same way, Miriam, I feel that they should be helping as a country. I mean, as this continent, it is our moral obligation, as Professor Onyari has put it, that we should be helping Nigeria, Miriam. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much, Musa there. Daniel, end it for us.
Thank you, Miriam. And of course, I've heard what Musa has put across. I've heard what my elders have put across, and that has been quite an in-depth analysis of what is happening in Nigeria. And to me, just to put the icing on the cake is that to tell our viewers that Nigeria ought to have become a very, very successful example of how Africa was supposed to conduct its business in post-independence period. But as soon after whatever happened was unfortunate, it soon fragmented into ethnic violence, ethnic tensions, and the country became ungovernable. And this is due to the curse of resources. When you look today at Nigeria, Nigeria is a country that do not have a centrally run government. Nigerians are facing very, very dire problems, apart from the problem of Boko Haram. Nigerians lack social amenities, they lack infrastructure, they lack a proper system of education. Nigerians are on their own, despite being the most populous country in Africa. Most Nigerians are still grappling with unemployment. Most of the industries have died out, and there's no much going to in terms of GDP, in terms of manufacturing and processing industries. So therefore, Miriam, that tells you that Nigeria is being run like a bandit economy, where profiteers of the oil and other natural resources are the ones who call shots, and the presidents who are there are merely the stooges of these cartels from the north and the Delta region. So therefore, that tells you that this is a country that has neglected its citizens, a country that has performed very atrocious inhumane acts towards its own citizens, and it has left Nigerians to walk on their own. And until, Miriam, we have a government which is carrying a government which is concerned about building schools, building roads, and raising the living standards of the majority poor Nigerians, then the people of Nigeria will continue to suffer more. And as it is right now, the Nigerians are suffering more under the leadership of President Buhari. And that is why Dr. Matsanga said that when you go out there, we have Nigerians running from the country. When you go to the UK right now, a majority of good doctors, good engineers, good architects are Nigerians. Why can't they sit in their country and be able to lift it and be able to build their own country? It is because there is no opportunity in Nigeria. And this kind of situation has been spearheaded by the fact that the country of the day has no accountability. It has no diligence to ensure that they make Nigeria a good place, a better place for their own citizens. That is my case, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. So our last topic, that was on Somalia. Perhaps Doctor will summarize that for us. And time is really far gone. Yeah, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Miriam. We don't have much time. And I want to thank the panel, all of you. I wanted to thank Dr. Joseph for coming today. And I want to thank you, but in the summary of, there's not much to summarize. On Nigeria, there are two solutions. A referendum to decide whether Nigeria should be realigned, rearranged. The rearrangement of Nigeria, as General Babangida said, Obasanjo has said, that's the only solution. Rearrange it before it crumbles into Atlantic Ocean. Rearrange Nigeria. Otherwise, it's gone out of hand. Leave the Igbo community. Let the Igbos have their own state, and the rest can make their state. Those who want. Nigeria was brought together by force. Now it has disintegrated. It is no more. The man at the head of Nigeria is more or less of a ghost. So as I'm telling you, Nigeria needs two things. A referendum to decide the destiny of the Igbo people. to avoid them being killed every day. On Somalia, I want to thank the panel, and I want to thank you all, and I want to thank Punchline Africa TV that our proposals were taken by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And thank you very much. You saw, we don't need to add there much, Miriam. At times we should smile for our talents. That the proposals that we have been saying for a long time have been taken, and they have at least indicated the only route left where there is no other place. The only route left is the United Nations Security Council. Isn't this what Matanga said long time ago? Let's not focus there, let's focus there.
Mm-hmm. Very well. We seem to have lost a doctor there. I don't know what happened. Maybe challenges with technology. Hey, doctor, I don't know if you're still there, and if at all you can hear me. Okay, we seem to have lost a doctor there, but very well. Thank you so much, Professor Jared Onyari. Thank you so much, Daniel Wesonga. Thank you so much, Jevan Karanja, Douglas Kirimi, who already left the conversation a bit earlier. And of course, thank you, Musa Abdi, Samuel Tawish, and a special thank you to you, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, for joining us today. We seem to have lost a doctor there. As I said, there are a bit of challenges with technology. Sometimes it can be a bit unreliable, but we were done with our show. I think the Somalia Kenya maritime issue is something that we will continue to look at, and we shall bring you the latest tomorrow in our subsequent shows, God willing. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Africa Showdown. My name is Miriam Mugutu. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much, Miriam.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.